Hi, and welcome. I'm Drill.
And I'm Dylan.
And welcome to Drill Bits. How's it going, Dylan?
I'm alright, pal. A bit warm, a bit hot and sweaty, but it's alright. Looks like a scene out of a gay sauna, those two sitting here when I'm talking. Get some likes. Get some likes off the ground. You alright?
I'm fine.
You sure?
I'm just going to
Do
do
CPR?
chest infection.
Okay.
I don't need that. So what have you been up to tonight?
Been wrestling.
Where at?
Denby, BWP. Didn't have a match, which I was quite thankful for, because I've had a bit of a chest myself, really. So, just involved in the Rumble. But in there quite a long time, so I felt it a bit, you know. It was a bit warm, like. Yeah.
Did you win?
No. Came close. Me, Pitbull, and Ryan Lloyd in the final three. But it was like, it was belting, really. To coin a Damon Lee saying, it was belting. Like, the audience were there for it, and like, we wanted them to be there for Rye, and they were. I think, like, Rye, he's come on like leaps and bounds. He's like definitely one to look out for in the future. He's just got it now. He's got the timing down. He just needs to work more on his physique, which he has been doing. And the finish was just spectacular. It was like just timed to perfection, and you know, it was like, you know, it was one of those moments where you think, right, this should be happening now, and it happened now. You know what I mean? So it was really good. So definitely hats off to Ryan Lloyd.
So the stars aligned.
Definitely, yeah. Everything was just right. Yeah. Even being, you know, Pitbull being there, everything was still right. Awesome. No offence,
Pitbull's been on before.
Yeah.
Is it?
I love Pitbull too. Yeah. No, I love him.
Yeah.
That's why I take the piss out of him so much, because I just love him to bits.
Is that why you take a piss out of me as well?
No, because I fucking hate you.
He's not joking.
No,
I'm turning this off. I'm not doing this.
so what have you been up to today, Drill?
You're not asking me questions.
Oh, okay, go on, sorry.
I'm asking you questions.
Bit noisy, isn't it? Go on, mate.
Shut your face. Let's start off with these boring questions. What are you doing? Behave yourself.
Go on, mate.
Let's start off with the boring questions.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Editing questions. I'm going to invade your privacy and that.
Go ahead.
What was your earliest memory of watching wrestling?
I was 11 or 12-ish, and I was watching TV with my brother, who's 4 years younger than me. And we were flicking through, and it was when Sky was like, you know, Channel 49 was the German channel.
Was it Richard Pascal?
It was good channel. And like Dukes of Hazzard and wrestling was right around the same time. That, you know, that channel, I think it was Channel 29 TNT. And we flicked through, and there was one match on, and it was Rey Mysterio Jr. versus, I think it was Ric Flair. But I don't think it was, because I don't think they ever had a match on Nitro around about that time, but I could be wrong. But anyway, it was definitely those two. Rey Mysterio first with his big, you know, like bright colours and all these crazy things he was doing with his body, you know, and flips, and I think he might have been on Eddie Guerrero or something like that, or Dean Malenko. And it was like one of those moments where like we were flicking through and we just stopped and we were watching it, like finger over the button, you know, kind of moment. We were like, just that happened, that match. We were like, didn't look at each other, but we were both sort of thinking, this is pretty cool. And then Ric Flair came on straight after him, and like the complete contrasting characters of like Rey Mysterio being, you know, bright colour, babyface, and you know, Ric Flair being just, you know, the twat that he was, you know, high, you know, sliding profile and all that stuff. And I just thought, I love that guy, but I hate you. And I like that I love that guy and I hate you. I like the feeling, you know what I mean? And like, I looked at my brother and we were like, should we keep this on? And we were like, yeah, go on then. And then it just became one of those things. It was like, every weekend we'll watch TNT, we'll watch Monday Nitro. You know, we like, I didn't come from like, you know, like much of a privileged background or anything. So we couldn't afford Sky Sports or movies or anything. I had a, you know, pretty basic package. So I missed out on the Monday Night War. I only saw it from one angle, which was the WCW angle. And it was that was it really. You know, WCW boy. And I tried to watch Raw, watch it back, but it wasn't the same really. You know, for me, WCW was all like bright colours and flashy lights, whereas the Attitude Era was just all black. Everyone wore like black trunks or black singlet or, you know, black cloak. You know, just it was just black. Really, but you know what I mean? It was one of it wasn't called for enough for me. You know, I like things that catch my attention, you know, imagination. So yeah, it was WCW, Ray Jr. and Ric Flair with my brother. And we were going to become a tag team, with my brother.
Was it?
Yeah, we were like, when we were kids, we were like, being on wrestling gear, on wrestling belts. And like when Mum had finished with the mattress, we used to take it outside and do wrestling. And like I jumped out of the bedroom window onto the mattress in the front garden.
Jesus.
And it was fucking stupid, because like the mattress was basically might not have been there, you know what I mean? It was fucking at the bottom, like, and it was like, I'm not doing that again.
Did you really die?
Pretty much, yeah. And it was like, yeah, we're going to go to a tag team, and like, then when like I went off and did the army and whatnot. And I left the army and I was like, right, I left the army pretty much to be a wrestler. I was like, you know, I'm going to follow this dream, it's never going to happen. Amongst other things in the army, you know, personal things, but we'll go into that. And like, I came back home and I was like, so, Carl, when are you going to start training to be a wrestler? And he's like, oh, I don't want to be one no more. My fucking world just collapsed around me. I was like, but we're going to be a tag team, we're going to be the next fucking WWE tag team champions, you know what I mean, and all this. And I was gutted, man, totally gutted. But yeah, that's pretty much it, mate. Good memories. Good memories.
Great.
There's never any bad memories of childhood wrestling, is there really?
No.
No.
It's all fun, tea break, like.
Yeah, it was all fun really. I never broke anything when I was a kid. I powerbombed my brother onto the mattress, which was on the living room floor, which knocked the wind out of him and I thought I killed him. I used to do a move, you know, D-Max finish? To pull up the full Nelson. I used to do that, but I used to just drill him with it. Because I thought wrestling, you know, like when you're a kid you think it's all legitimate. You know, and you know, the true sport. And he was like, I used to hook him into it, but he couldn't get out of it, legit. And I used to whisper into his ear, "Look familiar." And I was like, "Does it look familiar?" And then I'd bomb him with it. So whenever it happened on TV now, I just go, "Look familiar." Oh, yeah, ready for that. But like, yeah, I used to think it was all real. And then like that TV show came out, you know, like Wrestling Secrets Revealed.
Yeah.
Me and my brother were watching it, and we're like, this isn't. We were like, you know, is this? Well, maybe that's WWF, but WCW is definitely one of those, we didn't want to believe it.
Yeah, cool.
It's still real.
It's like WWF.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. That's WWF's fake, yeah, definitely, yeah, but WCW, they don't do that. They don't stomp on the ground, but we watch them like, well, they're stomping on the ground. Watch someone do a suplex, oh no, he's pushing off his leg. Well, maybe he's trying to reverse it. You know, we're just trying to come up with any excuse to just continue to believe that wrestling was just legit.
Never mind. Bless your cotton socks.
Bless your cotton socks.
Anyway, so where did you start training?
I started at Future Shock Wrestling originally.
Yeah.
And at the time I was still in the army. I was just coming out, so it was every weekend. I used to travel from North Yorkshire, where I was based in the army, Catterick, which is a shithole, to North Wales, where I live. It was about 2.5 to 3 hours on a Friday. And then I get up on a Saturday, travel to Manchester, train, travel back to North Wales, then on Sunday travel to Manchester, train, travel back to North Wales, and then on the Monday morning travel back up to Yorkshire in the army. So basically came home just to go wrestling training in Future Shock. But at the time it was run by Dave Rain and late Don Travis, and it was, to me it was like, it was, looking back, it was good training. Everything was fine, but it was like, I was at the point where I was just leaving the army and like it was the fittest physical condition I'd ever been in. And I just didn't feel like I was breaking up with the sweat. You know, I've always thought wrestling training to be a lot harder than this, and I was like, am I missing out on something here? And there's a guy called Kev Noir, and another guy called Anthony Loudon, and was Juggernaut, and they were like, well, there's a training school around the corner called GPW. Johnny there, the trainer, you know, he's known as a bit of a beast, like, you know, for beasting people. I was like, oh, we'll go there then. So I went there, and I was like, listen, Johnny, you know, I'm in the army, I'm fit as fuck, you know, I want to get on shows, so just drill me. And he did, and it was like, I just stuck at GPW. So I started training initially at Future Shock Wrestling, but moved over to GPW.
So you're a GPW lad then?
Yeah, I'd say so.
I thought he was a Future Shock lad.
No. I respect what they've done, obviously, because they, you know, they've come on leaps and, you know, I say leaps and bounds, it's a bit fucking cliche, but they've just gradually, just continuously, not one show's been like phenomenal compared to the next show, they just gradually, you know, just turn up the volume, yeah, bit of slow burn. The show is now, I've seen, you know, pictures on Facebook and I've been to a couple to watch, and they're just like, yeah, they're really good. And kudos to the guys running that. But yeah, I'm a GPW lad.
Awesome. So, how long did it take you for getting on shows from training, when you started training?
I think it was 6 months, something like that. I had the physique anyway, like I said, being in the army. And I was a boxer when I was in the army. I used to box with the regiment, and I played rugby, and I swam for the regiment, so I was, you know, quite athletic. And there was a guy there called Benson, called Richard Benson, whose gimmick name was Benson Richards, like Daniel Bryan Danielson, so a bit like 10 years ago. Before it was cool to do it. And yeah, he needed a tag team partner, so we got teamed up together, known as the Wild Hearts. which is cheesy as fuck. We had a little, that was our thing. We used to like a high five with 3 fingers, like W for
that. 200 one in the state now.
Yeah, could be, yeah. What is Wigan, so... fist of nature, I suppose, isn't it? But, yeah, so we've got Singles of Wild Hearts. We had a whopping 1 match as a tag team. This builds up.
Did you win?
No. Yes, we did actually, yeah. Echo's Elite, me, Benson Richards, Chris Echo, and it probably was Voodoo. I'm so sorry if that's wrong. I think that is wrong.
You're probably not watching it anyway.
Versus Mike Holmes, Lethal Dose, which was Toxic and Cyanide, now known as Cyanide and Jack Gallagher, and somebody else. Kevin Noir, who broke his hand in the match.
Nice.
By slapping the mat. So, yeah, that was that.
How did that match go? Was it terrible?
Yeah, no, it was belting. It was like one of the favourite matches. I still got it. It's a good match. It is a good match. It was just, you know, opening match of the show. 8 lads, fast paced, boom, 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 sort of, you know, bish, bash, bosh, as they say. And it was done. It was good.
Cool.
It was a good match.
So, how long have you been wrestling for?
10 years now. Good to 10 years.
10 years.
Not far off.
Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I loved it, yeah. There was a point where it was like, not so long ago, where I was just a bit like, there's a lot of fucking people in wrestling now.
There isn't.
Who don't need to be in wrestling. You know, just sit in the front row, just, you know, go buy a ticket, you know, don't need to be backstage. You know what I mean? All those moments where it's like, it's not special anymore. You know, like, when I started, back in the day, it was like, you know, I knew everyone in the UK. Like,
yeah.
I could name everyone who wrestled, pretty much. And I could probably name them on, like, you know, a couple of pairs of hands. But now it's like, just 10 a penny. And it's just so diluted. And a lot of it is shit. There's a lot of, you know, nice guys, really good lads, but, you know, they just sell themselves out of the job, you know, it's sort of like wrestling for like free. For, oh, just give me X's, and they're just undercutting all the lads, you know, and the whole thing goes on where, you know, dad takes his 2 kids to watch a wrestling show and shit arse number 7's on it, and he never goes back to watch wrestling, so he doesn't get to see, you know, like Ligero and Juice and, you know, people like that, so it's a shame, and that's just the way it is. It happened for a while, but then I think people come wise to that now, you know, over like, let's say the last year or 2, or maybe 3 years, people come, like, promoters come wise to that, so it's not so like, you know, they know who the shit ones are really, so they don't use them, but, you know, it goes on everywhere, doesn't it, I suppose. But, yeah.
It's all right, isn't it?
It is, yeah. That is life, isn't it? Just like knob it everywhere.
So, you've been wrestling for 10 years?
Yeah, not far. Just under 10 years, yeah.
Shy of 10 years.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
So again?
Do you get it?
Do I get it?
Yeah.
Wrestling?
Yeah.
I should do by now, shouldn't I?
You should do. Do you think, in other words, do you think you've clicked with it now?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I'm happy where
do you know what I mean? Yeah, with your matches and that?
Yeah, yeah. I'm happy, yeah. I'm confident now that, like, I listen to, you know, if I'm on, like, second half, I listen to the first couple of matches and I sort of know what kind of audience it is, you know, and what they want to see, you know, and well, we don't need to put that in because they're not going to pop that good for it, you know what I mean, and things like that, you know. But when you first start, it's like, right, I'm going to do a super kick onto the apron, then you can land on your feet, and then I'm going to do a backflip with a twist, you know, and a pop, and, you know, it's like, what's the point? They're not going to appreciate it. No. Like someone were like, I think it might have been like one of my first days of training, they were like, why do a shooting star press to excite the crowd, and all you have to do is raise an eyebrow.
True.
Do you know what I mean?
True.
So I learned very early on to just less is more. And I've had like injuries over the time as well, and like things that I think, you know, my time's been marked for quite a while, because like really bad sciatica, which is like a lower back pain, but it's not a lower back, it's in your arse cheeks, and down the back of your legs, so sometimes I take an awkward bump, I can't walk for like 4 days, and you know, having like a mortgage, and a family, and you know, a full-time proper job, it's sort of like one of those risks that I can't really take, so sort of a bit more picky-choosy, you know, back in the day I'd be like, oh yeah, I'll wrestle anybody, you know, whatever, where like now it's a bit more, you know, well, I'd rather not wrestle him, that's why, nothing against him, but I prefer to go on with him because I've had him before and I know I can trust him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of those moments, but yeah, I do get it, I get wrestling now. Yeah, no, I do get it, and I'm happy where I am. There was a point, obviously, where you're like, oh, I want to get to a certain stage, you know, I want to get like, you know, to a bigger stage, you know, in a different place. Whereas now it's like, no, I've not got those aspirations. And people say, well, if you're not aspiring to be a WWE, then what are you doing it for? It's like, oh, You know, just,
not everyone needs to be in WWE.
No, like, you know,
there's New Japan there, Ring of Honor.
But even those kind of stages, it's like I've got no aspiration to be there.
Yeah.
I just haven't. You know, there was a time when I did, but then it's just like, well, I'm quite happy really, just wrestling in front of a couple hundred people with my mates. You know, I don't go out drinking that much because I wrestle a lot. But like, you know, I'm not really one to go out drinking. You're getting lashed every weekend. You know, in the same pubs with the same mates. You know, chatting with the same girls. You know, but you know, if I was single. But you know what I mean. But I'm not that kind of guy. So I'd rather hang out with my mates here. I mean, these are my mates, apart from you.
Yeah. I'm your lover. Your secret one. That's what your missus said.
I won't tell you what your missus said.
I
couldn't understand it.
It was
something like,
So, who did you come up with when you started wrestling? When you started travelling around?
There's no one here really. I'm sort of like the last one.
So you became before Legs and Juice and all that?
No. Legs and Juice was like the one, pretty much like the one before me.
Oh, was it?
So after Juice was like my sort of intake. There was a guy called Chris Echo who lives in Scotland. Kevin Noir who went crazy. Juggernaut whose knee fell off. He was doing like this move with Pip, you know, bubblegum, and his knee just fell off. And obviously, you know, I work for the ambulance service now. Like back then, there was no equipment backstage to help him, so I gaffer taped a rolling pin to his leg to splint it.
Nice.
So improvised, adapted and overcome. I believe it got laughed at when they got to hospital, but it worked. So get it straight.
Awesome.
Who else was I training with? Voodoo was there. Just started. Voodoo and Mike Holmes. Alan Tasker used to wrestle. It was Brian Maiden. Like a rip-off of Iron Maiden.
Oh.
I love Alan Tasker. He's one of my favourite friends. Yeah, that's pretty much it really. Who came around when I was there. So yeah, I think that's about it really. And I'm sort of like the last one. I feel like I should go. Everyone's left and like, Dill, what you're still doing? Prowling around in spandex, you should leave.
Gotta keep it up, bro.
Maybe I should go.
And let's go away from wrestling for a bit.
Okay.
Let's talk about you. Let's talk about your personal life. Well, not personal.
Right.
Let's talk about what you do outside of wrestling. What do you do outside of wrestling? What's your job?
I work for the ambulance service. I'm an emergency medical technician. It's like a bit like a paramedic, but I work alongside paramedics. People it's the same job, but they give certain drugs and we give certain drugs. You know, different-ish role, but dressed the same to the general public. We're all paramedics.
Does that interfere with your wrestling?
Yeah. I gave up wrestling really. I sort of semi-retired because I wasn't sure how much of a pull it would be on my wrestling sort of like career, but like it was quite a pull really. So I had to drop a lot of dates. I had to sort of say to a lot of promoters, you know, I can't guarantee that I'm going to be available, so just don't book me. Which is sort of, you know, it's heartbreaking because you work so hard. You know, I'm in the gym every day. I work a 12-hour shift, but I still go to the gym.
Right.
I'm like a diet every day. You know, I'm always on. You know, I put a lot of effort into looking good in spandex for 15 minutes of one night a weekend. I mean, the whole week is taken up by just those 15 minutes.
For not a lot of money.
For not a lot of money, yeah. And it's like, have you seen my page? And it's like, yeah, it was heartbreaking really because you get, you know, I felt like I was at a certain point because I've never gone to a promoter asking for work. I've always been approached by somebody, which I pride myself on. You know, like word gets around that, you know, this guy is all right, he's quite safe or whatever. So I've never said to a promoter, "Hi, this is me." That I can remember anyway. I might have done, but I never have. That I can remember. But you know, you sort of like you get to a certain level, and then you sort of like, I'm here now, but I'm sorry, I've got to go. You know what I mean? It felt like a bit like that, but I do enjoy my job, and you know, it's sort of like I probably enjoy my job more than I enjoy wrestling, which when I started wrestling wasn't something I didn't say. But I do love it. It's like the best job in the world ever.
Awesome. So, in your job then, what's the most? How can I word this? What's the weirdest thing?
What's the weirdest thing?
in your job, and what has made your job worth it? Do you know what I mean?
Okay. All right.
It's both of them.
So the weirdest thing I've seen, I've not been doing it for too long, don't forget.
Yeah.
Just over a year. What's the date today?
I don't know.
18th of July. When this goes out,
So
I started my job on the 20th of July. So I've been doing it for a year on the 20th of July. And the weirdest thing that I've seen, a job came through. And it was, I think, a 25-year-old male with penis stuck in a bottle. So that was quite embarrassing. We sort of got there, and he tried to make up a story that he had slipped and fallen naked after got out of the shower. But I didn't say anything, but the look was sort of like, look mate, I know what you've been doing, and you know that I know what you've been doing with that bottle. So let's just cut the, let's just cut the chase and just get down to it, shall we? Shall we take you to hospital? No, we took him to hospital. He actually called 111, which is like a non-emergency ambulance line. And they said they obviously thought it'd be funny. But it was quite funny. I didn't laugh though, I kept professional, but it was funny. It was one of those things where, look at your colleague, it's like, oh, don't laugh. Let's have a look at it then, mate. That looks swollen, no wonder you can't get it off. So that was the weirdest thing I've seen. Probably the one that, well, I've got a couple really. There was one where bloke had a cardiac arrest, which is where your heart stops working. Basically, you die, and you have to do CPR, which isn't that successful really. One in 10 is statistics, something like that. And we did CPR on this guy, and we sort of got him back, and then he went off again, and we got him back, and we took him to hospital, and that was that. And then about a month later, I was visiting the hospital in Liverpool, and he walked out as I pulled in, because I remember him because he had like an overbite. I remember looking at him as he was lying on the floor, and I was like, he's got an overbite, because you had to put like an airway in. I thought, how am I going to measure this now? So the overbite was in my head. And then when he walked out, I was like, that guy's got an overbite. He looks like that chap from the other month, but he looks like he's lost a lot of weight. He had like a quadruple bypass. And he walked out and he recognised me. It was one of those moments where it's like, were you? It's like, you know, one of those. And he started crying. And I was made up for him. And I started crying myself. But that was like, literally saved that man's life, sort of thing. That was a really good moment. So there was that one, and then just not too long ago, we had a woman who delivered a baby in the back of the ambulance. And it was one of those moments where it's like, oh, baby's coming. she's like, am I bleeding? I'm like, no, your walls have gone. So just ripped the pyjamas off, and I popped the baby, so I delivered the baby. So that was one of those moments where it's like, just don't drop the baby. You know what I mean? Like a Benny Hill sketch, kicking a baby around the bottom of the ambulance.
See? I guess you both answered both my questions then.
That's the idea.
What? Do you have any guilty pleasures?
Ooh, guilty pleasures.
Or do you have are you a bit of a geek or something?
Well, like she-males?
I don't have a guilty pleasure.
No. Am I a geek? No, I'm not a geek. Guilty pleasures. I like the Backstreet Boys. That's about it. Don't tell anybody.
Oh,
It's just larger than life. It's a fucking belting tune. Bow, 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 bow. No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not joining in.
Just do the laugh.
It's
a fucking tune. I like it. If I'm on the motorway, no one's going to hear me.
Yeah.
It's on me phone.
It's blasted up.
Yeah, pretty much. That's about it really. Backstreet Boys.
So, you like Arnold Schwarzenegger, don't you?
Yeah. He's like the man, isn't he?
He's the man.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know, do his accent?
Don't feel like
Can you impersonate Arnold Schwarzenegger? Can you impersonate anybody?
Can I
Impersonate anybody? Can you do anybody's voice?
No. I used to be able to do a few people, but I can't do them anymore. I used to be able to do Bart Simpson, but then my voice broke. And I could do Mr. Bean, but then...
I don't know do Mr. Bean.
But I can't... no. I'm going to say no, I can't do an impression. I'm sorry, it's boring, but I can't. I can do a Pitbull. A fucking, yeah. A fucking sound, yeah. No, fucking, everything's fucking cushy, mate, yeah. Yeah. Fucking German. Fucking ready or not, you're fucking going on your head, Sam. That's it, Pitbull.
Pitbull.
And you'll find that spot on.
Yeah. You get it. Anyway, well, let's wrap this up.
Go ahead.
Last few questions. Who's your favourite wrestler?
Of all time?
Yeah.
I got two. It was Bret Hart. But like more so now I've become to sort of like watch old tapes where it's like be controversial, but like I like Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
It's like when you watch it, it's like, yeah, no wonder I thought it was all real. When you watch Chris Benoit, it looks fucking legit.
Benoit, Malenko,
yeah, that sort of, yeah, group of lads.
Cool.
Any of them.
What's the best match you've ever seen?
In person or on TV?
Anna?
There's so many. Fucking hell. There's a lot. Probably Piper and Bret, WrestleMania. That was probably my best match. One of those you can watch it and it just hasn't really. They don't do like, you know, backflips and shit. Yeah. It hasn't really aged really. Structure wise, it's just spot on, well paced.
Cool.
Probably Piper and Bret.
Awesome. Best match you've ever been in?
In myself?
Yeah.
There's been a lot. I've had a lot of favourites. Probably the best sort of flawless match, which looked the hardest, but actually one of the easiest, was probably Jay Lethal from about 2 or 3 years ago at BWB. That was an awesome match.
That's just before I came, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. It was a good match. Have you seen it?
No.
It was a good match.
It
is a good match. One of those, like, you know, when you show, it was like, what do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? What do you do on weekends? Like, people in work, it's like, oh, what are you up to tonight? It's like, and they find out you're a wrestler. That's one of the matches that I'll show people. I've had the Chris Masters match at Infinite. That was another good match. These will be imports. They're already shit.
No.
All matches with Danzig as well. I've been in with it. Yeah. And I've had a couple of runs with Ligero, especially GPW. And then we did like the Oscuro, El Ligero.
Oh yeah, I watched that.
Storyline. That was probably my favourite storyline. Yeah. That was good.
Who would be your dream tag team partner or manager?
I've got my dream one. It's Alan Tesco at GPW. I love him. Dream tag team partner of all time?
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah.
Come on, tag me in. Come on, I'll do it for you.
Nah, get to the corner.
I'll swipe you with my bicep. Come on, let's do it. How's my thing? Tattoos, you got plenty of tattoos?
I've got a couple, haven't I, mate?
Did it mean anything to you?
Yeah.
Which is your favourite one?
Probably my boy on my leg. I've got Joshua down the side of my leg, in building blocks.
What did it mean to you?
I got my wife, Wisdom Over Death, which was like something from the army. Koi fish, red ones, 2 of them, which is like a struggle against the personal, you know, overcoming a personal achievement, which was getting the job that I've got.
Yeah.
And this is all army related.
Yeah.
Stars of friends that I've lost and reminds me to live. All my friends were lost in a fire. You know, there's other personal meanings behind it. But
cool. Last 2 questions.
Fire away, pal.
One question, ask me anything.
Ask you
What question do you ask me?
Oh, fucking hell.
One question. What would you like to know?
What's that? Are we alright?
It normally goes off after 30 minutes. I have to turn it back on.
Is this your real voice?
This is my real voice, yeah.
Is your real voice?
Yeah. Is that your question?
No. What's your favourite match you've ever been in?
Mine?
Yeah.
Mine was the dumpster match at GPW.
That was a good match, yeah.
With that was
IJC.
Bin Man. With me and Mika. Yeah, that was my favourite match of all time.
Yeah.
It's up there.
I watched that. That was a good match.
I've still not watched it yet.
I watched it live with me.
Oh.
I was there.
But a lot of people congratulated him, even Johnny.
Yeah.
Even he said that he was expecting a shit.
Yeah.
It's actually turned out to be probably one of the best matches of the year.
Well, Johnny Brannigan said that.
Yeah.
Well, the ultimate optimistic.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what he said. I was like, oh, well, that's a big compliment. That or the one when I had against Ty in Wellington. But I rated the dumpster one. He wasn't there when I did that one. That was when me and Ty had a feud. And I kicked the shit out of him.
Good lad.
So, yeah, but I lost. But that was match it now.
Yeah.
Last question. What advice would you give to anyone who is looking to start training or just started?
Okay, don't be a shit ass. Get to a gym. There's no excuses. If you've got time to find Pokemons in a car park, you've got time to work on your biceps. Basically, get to a gym, eat right. Probably, I don't know, man. Get good gear, eat properly, and get to a gym. And that's pretty much it, really. Just train hard. If you're like coming up with like, if you're coming through the rankings of like, you know, like a GPW and you're going to get on GPW shows, then you know, take your time beforehand to go to the shows, to have a look at the roster, and find out where you can fit in and what you can do that's different to what everyone else is doing. You know, have a gimmick. You know, something that you can sort of, because gimmicks help. I was saying to Big Joe downstairs before. It's like if you've got a gimmick like he's got, you can sort of hide behind it, so you haven't got to like. When I came like 10 years ago, there was like all the heels had gimmicks, and the baby faces didn't really have gimmicks. It was just like come out, come on, clap, clap, clap. You know, that's what all the baby faces did. Didn't have gimmicks. We had to get over with our moves, and sort of like yeah, have a gimmick. Find out where you can fit in, get to a gym, just look in the mirror and just think to yourself, would I pay to see me? You know what I mean? Think of it like that. It's like, would I pay money to see this? And if you wouldn't, then you're ripping people off by pressing a ticket. You haven't got to have a six-pack. If you built like a, if you built like you, look like a thug. You know what I mean? And just, have something that's different. Have a look like a wrestler. Go back to WCW. It's why I wear bright colours, because it's back from WCW. Eye-catching. Have your name on the back of your gear so people can chant something. If you're going to choose a name that's not your name, pick a name with 2 syllables so you can chant it. Pitbull, pitbull, or because like drill. It's his own chant, but it's easier to sort of, come on,
get the beat.
Yeah. People don't think of those things.
I don't know about that. That's news to me.
But it makes sense, doesn't it? You know what I mean? Allegero, it's 4 syllables. You know what I mean? 2 or 4 syllables.
Easy to chant.
Yeah, easy to chant. Yeah. CJ sucks. Something that's chantable. People know your name. Don't just turn to a show with plain gear. Have your name on it somewhere. Look like a wrestler. Have a tan. If it's fake, if it's out of the bottle, it's fine. Get a tan.
I don't need a tan.
Well, no, that's what I mean. Some people don't. You know what I mean?
That's my gimmick.
That's what I mean. Yeah. If you've got a look and it's unique to you, then that's fine.
Exactly.
But don't just turn up with a bit of fluffy hair there, and like hairy nipples, and just sort of hairy armpits.
Sort that shit out, man. Yeah. Alright, right. Anything you want to add? Anything you want to plug? Anything you want to sell?
Buy my t-shirts. Watch me on YouTube. Watch my wrestling shows. Go to watch wrestling shows. Support the lads. Cheer the good guys and boo the bad guys. Don't be fucking straws. Don't use the word straws because it's overused.
What's it with stroops?
Straws. Okay. This is your real voice, isn't it?
Yes. Leave my voice alone. Not even real English, anyway. It's his second language.
But I can speak it better than drill. Go figure.
From Wigan.
Just have fun. Don't take it too seriously.
Sell stuff.
Yeah, buy my t-shirts. Inbox me. Facebook. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. Dill_Roberts. I'm on Snapchat. Dill_Roberts, I think. DYL_Roberts. I'm on Tinder. No, I'm on Tinder. I'm on Grindr.
I know you're on Gator. So squeeze your ball flames.
Just only one way. Just bottom.
Alright. Is that it?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
Cool. Right. Thanks for watching. I'm Drill.
And I'm Dill.
Catch you down the road.
And we are Drill Dill.
Shut your face.
Dill Drill.
Dill Drill.
Cheers, buddy.